Hi, my name is Renee Bubetz, and I'd like to welcome you to Real Estate Simplified. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a revocable living trust. Revocable means you can make any changes you want while you're alive. Trusts are so important, and since I offer you a free one if you buy and sell with me, I thought it would be important that people understand what they are and why you should have one whenever you own property. First of all, if you don't own a property and you don't have assets over 100,000, then all you need is a will. But once you own property, you want to make sure that you have a trust for several reasons. The primary one would be because it's a legal document. It protects your privacy and it can help save the expense and time of a probate, which can take as long as 3 years to go through and take from 10 to 15% of an individual's estate value. A trust also helps individuals to maintain greater control over their assets, money, and property, and have their wishes carried out once they're gone. A living trust is a form of estate planning. You determine how it should be distributed to people, charities, or organizations when you pass on. The executor you choose must be a U.S. citizen and over 18. That's the one who will distribute all the assets that you've said you want to leave and to whom. If you have younger children, you may want to leave a letter to the executor to help one of the children, if you have minors, and as they come of age, to maybe get a car or to help them with their books if they're going to college. You can determine at what age they will receive their money, and it can even be given out in increments. Many people do it in 3 increments. Since most people leave their estate to their kids, there are many ways that it can be delivered to them. If you have a special needs child, we can do a special needs trust so that if they get any benefits from the state, they wouldn't lose their benefits if you leave them anything. There's really a lot of ways to create just what it is that you want. There are additional documents that come with your living trust, like a will for each spouse, durable powers of attorneys, meaning if you ever end up not being able to answer for yourself or take care of yourself, like being in a coma or having Alzheimer's, you can name up to 4 people on the durable powers of attorneys. And there's two for each of you. So one of them is for medical decisions, and the other one is for property and money. And you need to think who would be the most compassionate when you're ill for the medical power of attorney, and who's more responsible with money for the money and property power of attorney. Then you can say, I want Susie, number one, to handle any decisions. And if she can't or she passes, then I want it to go to Johnny, number two, and so on. When I said you can have up to 4 people, this is where you have the 4 people. You can name up to 4 different people to have them make the decision. There's also your medical directives that you both need if you're hospitalized. Letting the hospital know if you want to be revived or unplugged when that time comes. This is a decision that you should make and certainly not your children. There are new deed or deeds, as this is a community property state. So you can take them to the county recorders to get recorded. There's a certification for the bank, so you can have the check say the name of your bank on your checks. But it's not necessary. It's only if you prefer that. There's also a pour-over will. It's a little different than a standard one, but you both get one. Then there's funding instructions on how to fund your trust, which I will have everything done for you. All you need to do is give copies to the doctors and take your deeds to the county recorder and record them. There are forms to say if anyone other than your beneficiaries are receiving a gift from you. There's a letter to your executor that you can leave and say, I want to give my niece a piece of jewelry. I want to give my son or a nephew, perhaps, a gun collection. Whatever it is, whatever you have, coin collection. You can write that letter and leave it for your executor so he knows to give those things first before everything else is distributed. Once you sign and your trust is notarized, then it's all done. But I want to tell you about this group of attorneys. They do excellent work. I've seen their trust get better through time as the changes happen in our world. What I'd like to say is if you're interested in getting a trust, even if you're not selling property with me, I'd be happy to help you. And one of the big things that I think are really important with using the group of attorneys that I work with is if you do a trust with us and then you come back and you have some changes, they're 4 generations. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be there to make the changes for you. And if you've gone somewhere else in the past and you've had a living trust done and you want to go make changes and they've died, sick, retired, no longer there, then what you're going to have to do is start all the way over from scratch and pay for a brand new trust. And that's really expensive. So that's something to consider when you're determining who you're going to go with to make a living trust. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something today. Please feel free to give me a call or text at 626-643-7363 for any questions or any help that you may need.